Hello, you guys, and happy Wednesday. We are doing a different type of episode today per Maddie's proposal because she brought this topic up to me, which I think is amazeballs. And I kind of want to get into more deep dives because as I was doing my research, I was like, I feel like a journalist.
I knew you were gonna be like journalist era.
Literally,
I
literally,
knew.
like I am that type of bitch that like if I watch a movie, I take on the personality.
Oh God, me too.
It's
Me
so
too.
why? It's so weird, but I love it and I'll never
And
stop.
and this is why. Oh, sorry, my eyes. I like put a different vitamin C all over my face, and like
Yeah.
my eyes are not happy. This light. I got. Oh God, no, I
Oh.
can't turn that off. It's just hurting. Everything is just hurting. Okay, that's a little better. My eyes are so sensitive. I need to not do that, like so close to the eyes. But anyway, that's why I feel Laura Croft. Like after I watched Laura Croft for like the first time, I
Oh.
was like, I want to be her.
I've never seen that's a movie?
Oh my god, yes! Tomb Raider? You've never seen Tomb Raider.
No, I don't think so.
Angelina Jolie.
No,
Oh
like I know
god.
the Halloween costume, but
Yeah.
I've never seen the films. Never.
Okay, when I come up, that's what we were watching. We were watching Tomb Raider. I don't remember how many there are, but it's amazing.
Is it like action?
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate action. I am all about
Mm,
like give me the comedy, love to laugh. Give
yeah.
me a drama because I love to cry. And like that's kind of it. Like action shows, I'm just like, so predictable.
Mm.
Like we know what's gonna happen in the end. I'm just like, over it.
Yeah, I can kind of get that. I struggle watching some shows because like if it's
Yeah.
very very predictable, I'm like done, you know. That's why I love
Yeah.
reality TV because you don't know.
Yes.
Speaking of reality
Yes.
TV, I started Southern Charm.
Yeah. How is it? Because here's the thing, right? We it's so amazing to go back and watch like old like OG Bravo episodes and shows. Like it's honestly like a gift. It's a gift, right? When you can start a old Bravo show because like nowadays it's it's good but in a different way. Like
Mhm.
this is totally like early mid 2000s you're getting like this like cringe factor. It's just like amazing. What are your thoughts?
Well, Joel's been sneaking in a few episodes with me, and he is like he'll just stand there watching it, and he's like, I don't want to watch this. You know how men are,
Yeah.
and it's insane. Like Summer House, in the beginning they work and then they party. Half the 75% of the cast in Southern Charm, they don't do anything. Shep,
Yeah.
what is his life? Leisure. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't do anything. And then Thomas, freaking
Mm.
like him with the he is 50 years old. He has money, centuries of money essentially. The family's been in the South since the 1700s. He's 50, keep that in mind. And he starts dating a 21-year-old and they have a pregnancy scare and then they have a baby. I was like, oh my God, it's crazy. And then
Yeah.
the funniest part, oh my God, I wanted to record it so bad, but Joel hates being on any social media of mine at all, so I don't really show him. But there was this part and they kept repeating it. It's whenever Thomas is breaking up with her. And then
Oh.
and he goes, we can't be together. Catherine, and it's funny because me and Joel kept reenacting it, and he was Catherine, I was Thomas. And he goes, we can't be together. And she goes, why? And then
Why?
he goes, because I'm an old man. We would rewind it and reenact it like 100 times. Why?
See, that is the shit that you
Oh
don't
God.
get on like reality TV like
Yeah.
today. Like those moments.
Oh
Oh my
my
God,
God.
that is so
I
good.
blurred
That
I
is so
blurred
good.
myself. Come back. Come. I'm not happy with this camera, let's be honest.
It's
I
very
don't know.
sensitive. I do
I
notice
don't know
that.
what to do. What do I do? Come back?
Try getting closer and then come back.
I did. My hand.
No,
See?
your face. It's because it's focusing on your hand.
Oh, I'm like perfect placement right now. Ugh.
Well, girl, I don't know that my
I don't want everyone
IT
to see my up face, my close
my
face.
up face, my up face.
You know what I mean.
This is me and
Okay,
my up face.
coming back. It worked! Kinda. Did it work? No.
Yeah, a little bit. You were just like an iPad baby though. You were just
I know. What do
like
I
way up
okay.
close.
Do I look blurry?
A
I look
little bit,
blurry.
but it'll fix itself. It
Will
will.
it?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Is
there
that
you go.
better
Yeah.
or worse?
Yeah, no, that's better. I think it
Okay.
wants you to sit closer to it. Like I think you're too far away and it's getting confused.
God.
You guys, if you
No.
don't know what we're talking about, go to the YouTube
Hold
because
on. I'm on wires. This is a
she's on why
mess.
this is a mess and this is this is
It's a
why we need better tech things. There you go. There you go.
much better.
Much better. Okay, so you just need to
We
be
are
closer.
I don't
Back in
like that.
business.
Back in biz.
Well,
Okay, but
do you want to give people a clean shot or do you want to like be a blurry mess?
depends on how uggo I'm feeling. For real. For real.
Not wrong. Not wrong.
Oh, little quick update. I was just on two different podcasts, Not Your Quick Fix and oh crap. Um, what is Leslie's podcast name? Great question, Maddy. Great question. Leslie's podcast is what is it? Come on, girl. What is your podcast name? Oh, Listen to Les. That's the podcast name.
Okay.
And I was on hers, and then we actually kind of talked about the same thing on both of them, except when you talk about something like personal to you, it's like the more
Yeah.
times you tell the story, it like gets better and better.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
not to say the podcast I did with Kara, basically talking about my autoimmune disease, not to say that was bad. I felt much better, more confident talking about it on Leslie's podcast. But if
Yeah.
anyone is like, I want to understand your autoimmune journey, how it all literally, I go like through everything much better on Leslie's, but on both of them, how it all started, how I'm getting off medication, all those things. Just send me a message on Instagram and I will send you the links to listen to them. But they were so good. Like it was just like therapeutic almost to talk about the
Mm.
trauma, because it was trauma,
Mm-hmm.
to your body. And yeah, because we talk about I feel like my life just centers around it half the time because that's like, when you go through
Yeah.
something really traumatic, you think about it a lot and it's a part of you. So yeah, if you want to listen to that, send me a DM. I'll shoot that over to you.
Yeah. And and I think the more you share it and speak to it, you feel like that's part of the healing and you feel more
Hmm.
confident and you feel more
Hmm.
more free to make decisions like not just based on like your just like your autoimmune just like being your identity. You know what I mean? Like you're able
Hmm.
to kind of be like that was something I experienced and now like look at all of this shit that I have done to like heal my body from the inside and out and like now I
Hmm.
can speak on this and like educate other people and help people and just like it's I love
Hmm.
it. I love it.
And it's cool because, like, for a long time, I felt like it was my identity because I was like suffering, right?
Yeah.
And now it's like, wow, I'm going to close that chapter. And like, it was a chapter of my life, but it's like not my current life. Like, I'm not going to be thinking
Mhm.
about, like, oh, I got to take a Humira injection. I got to do this. I got to do that. Like, I think, and I talked about this with Lacey, our mutual mentor, on a live. We talked about like autoimmune and like the nervous system and, when we get diagnosed with things and like we go through health scares and like the process of getting sick and finding out, like you become attached to that. And I
Yep.
think for the longest time, I became attached to my diagnosis. And it wasn't until recently I was like, that's not part of me. Like, that's not me. I don't need to be the person who has psoriatic arthritis. I don't need to be
Mhm.
the person who is suffering. I am much more than that. And I felt like ever since I've detached from that, like I've healed even more. So now it's like, this doesn't control me. This doesn't stop me. I mean, I have so many people that like are like, oh, my RA symptoms are so bad and I just can't do anything and there's no hope for me. And I
Yeah.
understand because I was there. But I think when we attach ourselves to a diagnosis to something, it limits your ability to get past it, and then you're stuck in that bubble. So I think I was
Mm,
stuck in that bubble. I was depressed. I was, experiencing suicidal ideation. I was all those things. And once I was like, okay, I can get better, things progressed. And then once I detached of like, I'm someone who has psoriatic arthritis to I'm someone who had presenting symptoms of a autoimmune
hmm
disorder, I felt like I healed even further. And I was like, I
mm.
don't need Humira. I don't, because we've done the work, mind you. We've done the
Yeah,
work.
yeah, 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 yeah. You're
Um,
not just
I
like
don't
going rogue.
literally. Well, I just muted myself. Come back. Okay. But yeah, I don't feel like I have to take Humira because I don't have that disease. I just had presenting symptoms. And I go way into it deeper in this podcast. So but yeah, I think that's important to not attach yourself to something. You don't have to be a victim your entire life. You can move past
Mm, love that. I love that. It's empowering.
it. And that's on that.
And that is on that. I love it. Um, let's dive in to the topic before we continue our catch up corner because a bitch loves to talk about
we
our
have we have
lives.
good conversations.
We
What's
always do.
wrong with that? We
Well, there's
do.
nothing wrong with that, but
I know.
we know my notes,
Oh my god.
like notes are my friend. Like I'm sitting here, I'm okay, so picture this. I put the video essay and we got oops. Oh, we didn't even tell who we're talking about. Okay. So let's
Yes.
back it up, put it in reverse, Terry. You seen that video?
No. No.
It's like somebody in like a mobility scooter and
Mhm.
somebody is like yelling to them like because they need to back it up for some reason. They're like, put it in
Mhm.
reverse, Terry. And so it's just like it's a meme that lives in
Uh,
my head. Um,
when
so
doubt it.
yeah. So today we're going to be doing a deep dive on Brittany Dawn, and she was in the fitness space. She was like really big on Instagram, YouTube. And the reason why we're talking about this, like, this is not to just like hate on an individual. This is
Correct.
not to, just like shit on her entire life. This is because it was a huge, huge scandal. What,
Yes.
ended up happening in her business and us being in the, health fitness space, we take our jobs so incredibly serious because women are
Yes.
entrusting us with their bodies. Um, we don't go around just giving out random diets or if our clients message us, we don't just say, "Good job, girl." We take our jobs very seriously. This is our livelihood. And so
Hmm.
when this story came out, it made national news coverage. Women
Hmm.
were speaking out. I and Maddy, we think it's really important to talk about this. And it did happen several years ago. However, I do think it's just so interesting. We've never spoken about it, like obviously on this platform.
Spoken.
Spoken. We've never spoken about it. Yeah, spoken about it. Um, on this platform. And I just really found it so interesting because I knew so much of the details, but to hear what the women, her clients, had kind of
Hmm.
experienced was just another level. So,
Hmm.
um, and we got all this information from a like YouTube documentarian. Her name is Swoop. We can link that video below, but
Definitely
this is
will.
all just, alleged based off of the information that is out in the public. So,
Yeah, we are not professional journalists, number one. These are not facts. We did not go to court. We did not do any of those things. But yeah, I just want to reiterate, like I don't like to bash women. Like I don't think Allie does either. I know she doesn't. And like Allie said, like we think it's important to talk about this stuff because when we don't learn from history, history repeats itself. And the health and fitness world, let's be honest, it's super sleazy. How much crap is out there that is, false claims, that is individualized coaching. You get a coach. I mean, Noom all the time. I hear from people all the time. I did Noom and they gave me a coach and they really didn't help me and they, didn't give me good, like they weren't, helpful, whatever it was. So many companies, products, whatever it is, just love to say they're giving you individualized support, charge you out the wahoo or whatever is wahoo for you, and you don't get that. And so it's important to talk about one of the biggest ones that was so popular because she was an influencer. I feel like when influencing was just kind of getting big, and help
Yeah.
women, yeah, help women not fall into this trap again. We are talking about her actions. We're not really talking about like she's a terrible person. I mean, like I think personally, I think health coaches, like smaller brands like us, if they take advantage of people, I'm like, you're a shitty person. Like I
Yeah.
don't think well of people that do that, to be honest, because it's your
Yeah.
business, you know, it's your
Yep.
brand. And if you're taking advantage of women because you know, if you tell them guaranteed this and take my product and whatever, and you don't know what you're doing yet, you're kind of a shitty person, I have to say. And I
Yeah.
think Allie would agree with that. Yeah. So we're not here because I got some wild comments on TikTok, like, you're just profiting off her. I was like, first off, we're making this zero if you're
Yeah.
not on
Yeah.
YouTube. And we're doing this because we don't want women to fall into this trap of paying someone money for personalized help and not getting the attention that you deserve. That is why we're doing this. So I hope that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah. And I really believe that like if something is like morally and ethically wrong, it should be talked about because
Hmm.
what you're going to see, that we talk about, there are a couple instances where it's like, ooh, that is actually like a big no-no. So we're
Hmm.
gonna dive into it. And yeah, if whatever you have to interject, just interrupt me because again, my list. Okay.
Okay.
So picture this. I'm on my treadmill downstairs. I'm on my walking pad. I put on the swoop video. We are here. We are listening. We are learning. I've got the phone in hand. So we're going to take it back to like the very beginning. So if you have no idea who this person is, you're going to. Okay. So Brittany Dawn started in like 2014. She was like a big fitness influencer. She was big on YouTube and she was kind of like the it girl, right? Like, I don't know if you followed her at the time, but I certainly did. And
Hmm.
she was always posting like her big transformation pictures, right?
Hmm.
In the right, it's like that classic, bikini like picture where like you're not really smiling, you're just kind of like, ugh, I don't want to take this before picture. And then
Hmm.
the after picture is this like, great like rockin' bod, you've got the smile, like the confidence, and like right there to me, I'm like, as a younger person watching that, I was like, wow, like those are results like I would want, right?
Hmm.
So she was also doing a lot of travel blogs and just really having a lot of eyes on her. Um, and this is where I think her as a influencer and a creator, it was a really, really attractive for a lot of women because they see her living her life and being healthy and doing all these things. And they're like, I want that. Um, so she started kind of pivoting, into the way of talking, about her workouts, her, different diets, like how she lost weight and promising women a way out of their unhappiness, with weight gain or wanting to get stronger. Um, and that's again something that like Maddy and I are not going to do. It's like, I'm not going to promise you results, like, right? Like, we can help you get great results, but like you got to show up for that. So like immediately, if you see someone promising results, like let that be a moment for pause. But in that moment, like 2014, 2015, she started her fitness company. And during that time on Instagram, it was like really easy for people to get clients, right? I remember I was like part-time coaching in when was it? 2018, and it was still really much easier to reach people
Hmm.
and get clients. Now it's, people are spending their time elsewhere, like not just on Instagram. Instagram is, you got to be a little bit more real, right? Like back in the day,
Hmm.
2014, you could post that before and after and be like, Lincoln, email me. And people would be like, yes,
Yeah.
like,
Yep.
yes, I am working with you. So in her fitness coaching business, she sold custom coaching. So nutrition, fitness, like, workouts, your cardio based on you. Okay. So based on Maddy.
Hmm.
She promised weekly check-ins. She claimed allegedly she helped over 5,000 people. And I this was not stated in the video, so I'm not exactly sure on this, but I speculate, because it wasn't stated in the video, that it was just her, right? Like, I don't know if she had
Mhm.
other coaches that she was working with or other people to help her. So helping 5,000 people, that's a lot of people. That's a lot of people to
Yeah.
be coaching individually,
Hmm.
right? Individual
Hmm.
programs for 5,000 people. That to me is a little bit of a pause again, because knowing what it takes to create a custom plan and to get to actually know somebody's, you know, body, their health, their experience, it is a lot of work. So that,
Pause right there. I'm sure. Is that okay? Can I pause?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah. Like when I think of making 5,000 custom programs, I want to jump off a cliff.
yeah, that's a lot.
Like I and Allie can also like you just said, like we when we take a new client on to give you perspective, like we're looking at their history, we've talked to them, we're looking at maybe a movement assessment, looking at like their tracking for a few days, really putting in time. Like I don't like to have like if I'm being totally honest, like 20, 25. Like I'm comfortable there, but like I want to be able to give my full attention to those women.
Mm-hmm.
Like 5,000 is impossible. Like there's no way.
Yeah.
There is literally no way to do 5,000.
Right. And I don't know if it was 5,000 over the course of, when she started her business up until that point, but it was on
Okay.
her website. But regardless, 5,000 is a lot of people.
Yeah.
And yes, she had a really big audience. She was big on YouTube, Instagram, but still, that is a very big number for any business. And you would want to think, oh, are there other coaches working under her? Does she have a team? Because maybe, yeah, then we can say, oh, okay, that's a little bit more feasible, but still, very
Mhm.
big number. So again, this was a pause, like right, kind of like think about that. That's a lot. That's a lot of people. So fast forward to 2019 or 2018, excuse me. She had kind of been, pretty cool online, flying under the radar, like nothing was really sticking. And in 2018, there were Yelp pages that were kind of forming about her business. And some of these Yelp pages are like not in existence anymore, but there are kind of, if you go on like the Wayback Machine, like they are still, like you can find them. So allegedly, people were saying that they never received their programs, check-ins were not done. They were getting emails that were very generic. If a client was reaching out, there were not a lot of responses. And allegedly, the responses would be, oh, let's cut 5 carbs. Good job, girl. You're doing great. So it was very much not customized coaching as promised. And
Like 5 carbs is 20 calories.
right,
Like
right. Right. So as two coaches that do individualized, customized programming, the idea that you're sending a client good job girl or keep it up to me is just
I've never done
not
that. I mean,
never
yeah, I've cheerleaded and this is amazing. Like you're doing amazing. Keep doing
yeah.
this. But then it's like you have times where you're like, listen, bitch.
Yeah,
You're
literally.
coaching someone, not like, whoo, like I'm not a cheerleader.
Of course, of course. And like people aren't paying to just be appeased. Like these women
Mhm.
allegedly, were asking for help. They were
Mhm.
stuck and it was not an appropriate response. Like, especially when a client is like, girl, I don't know what the hell's going on. The
Mhm.
scale isn't moving. Things aren't happening, blah, 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 blah. That's where we go in and it's all right, let's take a look. What is with our food logs? Like, have we been hitting our steps? What is your digestion? Like, we are looking in to kind of see what all is happening. So to get a response like that, a lot of these women were feeling duped. Like this is not one-on-one coaching.
As they should be. feeling.
Exactly. So allegedly, she started deleting bad comments on her Yelp pages, and the pages were getting kind of taken down. There was
Mhm.
also a lot of 30-day programs that she was giving out allegedly that were like just copy and paste. Like they were the same. People were writing on the Yelp pages that they received the same program as the person above, like because it would be described.
Uh,
So people were starting to get smart, right? Anybody that was buying from her was starting to kind of put together the dots,
dots.
connect the dots. There we go. So this woman, she went on the news. She talked with I forget what the news was, but I can go back and write it in. But her name was Angie Bullock, and she was on Instagram, and she found Brittany's Instagram, and she saw that big transformation, like the classic, holy shit transformation that makes you stop. And
Yeah.
she was getting married in several months. She was stressed about how she's going to look in her wedding dress. And she paid for the bridal package, which was individualized coaching, macros, food list, and then a cardio recommendation. So allegedly, the plan was really not what it was advertised as.
Mhm.
The exercise that you were supposed to do was 2 hours of exercise every day and just a list of exercises.
Oh my God.
So again, when we say we do individualized coaching, right? Part of that, the exercise component, we really do mean that we're taking a look at you, right? What are your goals? Do you have any injuries? The whole lot of it. And so to just give somebody that is trying to really lose weight 2 hours of exercise and a list of exercises, that's not the most helpful. And that is
No.
overdoing it. Okay. And so unfortunately, Angie, never got responses. She was commenting on her Instagram post, Brittany's Instagram post. She was emailing her. She emailed customer service. She was asking for a refund and got blocked because she wasn't promised what she was delivered for the bridal package. She was like, this is not what was advertised, right?
Hmm.
So comments started flooding to Brittany's Instagram. More and more people were noticing that women were commenting about, allegedly being ripped off. And people were like, why is she deleting comments? What is happening? Like people were noticing.
Hmm.
So then that same year, Angie found a Facebook group and it was called Brittany Dawn Fitness Complaints. There was over 200 women in the group, and the group grew to 5,000. So this
Those are
was,
5,000.
yeah, this was a space where women who had bought services from her were all coming together basically to say, did you experience this? Did you ever get this? Because they weren't getting responses. They weren't getting any sort of answers. And when you pay for something, you expect it to get the deliverables.
Yeah.
And when you're not getting answers, that's incredibly frustrating. So, um, later that year, 11,000 people signed an online petition to basically stop Brittany Dawn Fitness, like to get the Better Business Bureau, what do they call it? Yeah,
The BBB.
to yes, to shut down her business essentially because there were so many complaints, there were so many kind of like wrongdoings that these women had felt. So 11,000 people signed it, which is crazy.
Wow.
Um people that again were commenting on her Instagram or her YouTube's anywhere that they could. They were getting comments were deleted, they were getting blocked. Comments were deleted, they were getting blocked. So again, like this is also a big red flag, right? If you want to remedy a situation, you don't delete and block people, right?
Hmm.
Um, and then one of the craziest things that allegedly was kind of found on her Instagram were hashtags skip dinner.
Whoa, what?
So that is, let's just say that's, it's alleged, um, because this came out because many customers told Brittany allegedly that they had had eating disorders and they were looking to her for guidance because she had shared her own experience. And so as
Ugh.
these kind of bad business practices are coming out, more of these
Mhm.
comments were like, wait, look at these hashtags. And people were getting very analytical. They were watching more closely than they ever were, because before it was just she had a really great transformation and I want that. And now
Mhm.
it's why are comments that I'm seeing now being deleted, right? Have you ever been on somebody's like Instagram page? I remember there's one person commented on a person's post, and the person who commented, person A, thought person B's post was a pregnancy announcement. They clearly did not read the post because it was about we were pregnant and we lost the pregnancy. They commented on the post, congratulations, so happy for you. So I commented back to them. I said, you clearly didn't read the post. I would delete this if I were you because you are so dumb. Like, take the time to read the post. So, in real time, I've seen people like delete comments like that because, you're just in the comment section and you see things. And so people are not dumb. If you have a lot of followers, people are going to notice these things. So, allegedly, going back to the types of programming and why this is, problematic, especially if people are coming to you saying that they have experienced disordered eating. A lot of the programs allegedly were around 1,300 calories daily. Some women were eating allegedly as little as 900 calories a day on top of
Oh my
cardio.
God.
So this obviously, as we as coaches know, and if you're listening to this and you're not sure why that's a problem, it's seriously dangerous. It's really
Mhm.
harmful, um because you are a full grown adult person. You
Mhm.
deserve to eat more. You
Mhm.
deserve to live a healthy life. And even if you want to lose weight or build muscle, feel stronger, look toned, there is a way to do that without compromising your health and without suffering. Because,
Like you are tanking everything.
yes, yes. And that
Hormones,
is,
thyroid, like everything.
it's really sad. It's really sad because a lot of these women, I'm sure, bought these programs thinking this is going to be the answer. And
Yep.
unfortunately, it wasn't. And now they're experiencing, like you said, a lot of different issues. And that's why we as coaches, we stand on business. We are not going to do things that compromise your health just to get you a result, right? We're not going to
You
do
know
that.
you know what we do? Of course, this has already a bad connotation. We SOB, we stand on business.
We stand on business, not bad business, but like we stand on our morals. We
Yeah.
stand on what we believe in, because to me, I don't care about how much money I could make by slinging shitty programs.
Yeah,
Not
and,
going to do that.
and this kind of alludes to how every cliche, cookie cutter, crappy program, this is
Hmm.
why they can guarantee weight loss.
Yep. Yes.
If you tank anyone's cut them so many calories, give them such little few calories, put them on a shit ton of cardio, have them skip dinner. Of course, they're going to lose weight. Of course, they're going to be like, "Oh my god, I dropped so much weight in the first." Of course, it makes sense. But you're going to gain it all back because that's not sustainable. That's why they can say that shit. That's why they can
Yep.
say guaranteed or your money back. That's why.
Right. That, yeah. And that's such a great point. If you are watching a video on YouTube or watching TV or whatever, and you see advertisements for different weight loss programs, and they do guarantee these things, and they say, or your money back, it's exactly right, because you can create a formula to have people rapidly lose weight. It's not that hard, right? Don't eat a lot. Not that hard. What we do is harder work because we're looking at our clients, we're looking at what their goals are, but we want to do it in a safe way. We want to do it in a way that doesn't deteriorate the quality of your life. We want to teach
Mm-hmm.
you.
Mm-hmm.
So keep these things in mind as you are being a consumer, and no fault to these women that bought into these programs, right?
They didn't know. They
It
didn't
didn't
know.
know. This is us telling you. This is us helping you to know what to look out for. Um, because back in the day, Maddy and I were probably easily as duped when,
Oh
trying to
yeah.
get certain results. So this is not us saying, these women, it's us saying that
No.
these are the red flags to look out for, because we don't want these things to happen to anybody else. Like it's heartbreaking, truly.
Quick side tangent.
Yeah.
I was duped. I was big in the CrossFit world for a long time. I was a CrossFit coach. I was hoping to be a head coach of a CrossFit gym, all those things. And there was a CrossFitter. Her name is Christmas Abbott. And it's kind of like the same thing with Brittany Dawn. She had a great transformation. I can't remember Christmas Abbott. Like she was like on drugs at one point, like in her had a rough childhood upbringing. I'm not sure that's 100% factual. I can't remember. But
Allegedly.
yeah, allegedly, I read her book and all those things.
Yeah.
Like a cool person in general, but she had this crazy transformation, and I was like, "Oh my god, I want to follow that." I wish I had this book still. I wish I
Oh,
had
it
this
had
book.
like a plan in the book.
Let me tell you, I remember counting out 10 almonds.
Oh. No, that's actually
Yeah.
so sad though. Like that is
Like
because it was part of the meal plan.
it was like no food at all. I remember, and like husband, boyfriend at the time, he was like, "This is like really intense." I was like, "I know, but like her results are crazy." Like I remember doing that shit. And this was, let's see, I lived this was like 2 houses ago. So I was I in college yet? I think I was. I can't remember.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, this was a long time ago, and I didn't know any better. This was before I became a coach, before anything. So I was just a
Yeah.
CrossFitter. I just wanted
Yeah.
to look leaner. Here's this person with a hot body telling me, like, just do this, eat 10 almonds, and that's your snack. And I'm like, sweet, So like we have done it. I mean, um, I also think we probably should have said we probably have some new people chiming in here, but we have numerous episodes of us talking about our escapades as young adults and children dieting.
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so
Like literally.
go back and listen to those trauma filled episodes. But yeah, we've done it. We're not here to bash women who have fallen into the trap of Brittany Dawn. We are just trying to help you guys, more women not fall into it again.
Yeah, because again, we understand the feeling of wanting to see results so badly and not
Hmm.
knowing how to do it yourself. So you
Hmm.
do the next best thing. Um,
Hmm.
and so that's why we're honestly in the position that we are today, because we are educated, beautiful queens that now help our other beautiful queens become educated. We love.
Hmm.
Okay. So going back to Angie, who we mentioned, along with her, other women were coming to light. Other women were doing interviews, and they were getting, again, news coverage, right? I think it was Inside Edition. Is that a thing? A news thing? I'm like, I know it's I was looking at the logo. I meant to write down. I think it's Inside Edition, but it's basically like your nightly news that does like coverage for like different
I feel
things
like I've
on.
seen that.
So that it might have been a different news source, so don't quote me on that one. But
Hmm.
February 6th, all of this had been kind of coming into fruition. There is an official statement that came out from Brittany to her
Oh,
YouTube.
oh.
Okay. An official statement. These claims are coming from years ago. I didn't know what I was signing up for. I apologize for these actions because I didn't know what I was doing. This apology video was monetized and it had sponsors.
Oh, did she like turn off comments?
I don't know. That was not mentioned in the swoop video because this video was then removed. The apology video was removed. So we will get to that. We will get to that. But basically, in my opinion, there was not a lot of ownership being taken. It was, I was a fitness influencer and I was thrown into this and I didn't know what I was doing. In my opinion, you stop. If you can't provide a service, you
Yeah.
take down the buy now button on your website and you put a wait list. If you want to just have women on a wait list, okay, but you stop. This is where I feel it is so morally and ethically wrong to just say I didn't know what I was doing. And these claims are coming from years ago. Hold on to that thought. Her timeline doesn't match. Her timeline does not match. She says these claims are coming from years ago, but customers were saying these complaints weeks before the apology video came out. So there were comments in like January, right? The video was February 6th. There was comments in January, in December, talking about, I haven't received my program. I haven't gotten responses. So based on the public comments and what these people were saying, what these women were saying inside Facebook groups, that is not accurate. These accusations weren't coming from years ago. So it also, to me, puts another bad taste in my mouth because this is your chance to like actually like take full ownership. You know what I mean? And then again, if you guys don't know what, if you look at a YouTube video, when it's monetized and it has sponsors, so number one, when it's monetized, it has mid-rolls. So if you're watching a video and all of a sudden you get a sponsor, or excuse me, an advertisement, that makes it monetized, okay? So if you're watching your YouTube video, all of a sudden like the ad comes up, they're making money off of that. A sponsor is when I'm in the middle and it's like, okay, time to take a little break from the show. This show is brought to you by X and X, right? So it seems very disingenuous to make some sort of an apology video where money is coming out of that. And people were feeling that. The apology video again was shortly deleted after. So to me, it says all it needs to say. Why are we deleting the apology video? Why was the apology video monetized? To me, it says what it needs to say. Like that is just, that does nothing. That does nothing for anybody. So then Brittany was making national news with the scandal. And that's crazy. National news. I don't think there was ever an influencer who made national news like that. Maybe now so more, but I can't think of anybody else. It's because so many women were speaking out about the experience and they wanted refunds and they were no longer just like settling to like not being heard. They were like getting on the news. They were like, somebody is going to listen to me. And that is incredible. Like I think that is like so amazing. So going back to the customized plans, a lot of it was foodless, right? Meal plans. She was not a registered dietitian and giving meal plans.
Yeah, quick side tangent. You can't get a meal plan with exact everything, calories, the amount, unless you are getting it from a registered dietitian. So me and Allie both don't do that. I don't give meal plans. I teach my clients how to make their meal plan. And of course, I give suggestions. Hey, we could do protein here, add a vegetable, things like that. We're not giving clients exact. You can't do that.
Nope, it is very much illegal. And again, in my opinion, when coaches do things like that and they don't have the qualifications to back it up, it tells me all I need to know, right? I'm going to always stay in my scope of practice. If I can't do something or I don't know how to do it, I am going to use the network of coaches that I have
Mhm.
available to me, some
Mhm.
amazing people. And I'm going to like tell my clients, hey, I'm going to message this person, you message them, like, let's get you two connected. So again, she
Mhm.
was, in my opinion, not following ethical business practices again. After the
Mhm.
national news coverage came out, she was dropped by sponsors, and they really had some pretty bold statements. They're like, anytime you are purchasing something, you should practice discernment, you should research, you should get to know what you are about to be, really investing in. And that is something that we should have done as well. The sponsor was saying we should have.
Oh, good on them. Good on them.
Mhm. Absolutely. Because there are so many companies that don't speak up, right? They'll quietly drop people or they'll put out a cushy statement. This I actually respected the hell out of because
Do you know of any of them? Which sponsors?
I can go back and look at it, but I believe it was a clothing brand.
Mm.
I didn't write it down because that to me that was not the juicy part of it, but I believe it was a clothing brand. But again, I was really shocked
Tell
because my
me.
sponsors now after the statement or her YouTube video apology was posted and then deleted, and then it was making
Mhm.
national news coverage, she got dropped by sponsors. Some people got refunds, but not every refund was full, allegedly. And then people that got the refunds also had to allegedly sign an NDA. If you don't know
Oh,
what that is,
whoa.
an NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. So to
Wow.
get the refund, she was allegedly having people sign an NDA that her lawyer sent it over. And that is so you cannot say
Wow.
anything disparaging about her and the work and the time that you were together. Again, it's very telling.
Was it for a
I
number of years, NDAs, or is it just like
It
life?
was not stated.
Mm.
Some of the women did sign the NDA to get
Mm.
their money back. Some people signed the NDA and did not get a full refund, and some people
Mm.
did sign the NDA and were not given their refund.
What
Were
would you
not.
do? I
I
wouldn't
would
sign the
not. I
NDA.
would not sign it because the truth is, if I haven't gotten my refund and it's been years, I'm scorned.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
am not willing to be compliant with this person. And
Yeah.
maybe the people that really wanted that refund, they needed the refund, right?
Yeah.
No
Yeah.
hate, no shade. Do what you need to do.
Yeah.
Um, but even people that did sign the NDA, they didn't get their refund, some of them. So,
Yeah, if there's one thing about me, it's being told. I don't like being told what to do, what to talk about, what not to talk about. So I would not be signing that. I would, I'd call it, well, lost my money. It is what it is. If I needed it, maybe, situations are different.
yep.
But yeah, you couldn't. I would be talking, yelling that from the rooftop. This happened.
Yes. And that's what a lot of women were doing. Like for in the video, Angie, she was one of the first people that came and got that coverage on the news and was
Mhm.
incredibly vocal because she's in this Facebook group, she's seeing all of these other people with her same experience. So
Mhm.
after the refunds were getting sent out, some of them weren't, NDAs were being signed. Her presence online was in a way falling apart. This image that people had known for years and had loved and were kind of like obsessed with. She was big online.
Yeah.
It was falling
Yeah.
apart. Like that is a tainted image. Legal consequences were, being talked of. Talks of class action lawsuits were, in the talks, right? I don't have information if that actually was followed through. Um, I believe, to the best of my knowledge, that because there was attempts to rectify the like disgruntled customers, that maybe nothing ever kind of happened. But as soon as you hear a business and being talked about class action lawsuits and unhappy customers, you got a bad taste in your mouth. You're like, I don't know if I'd ever buy from them. So in total, 2/3 of customers were rectified. They were given back their payments. Again, some of the payments were not even in full. So that's weird to me. After this, she did dissolve her fitness LLC. And
as she should.
the only thing I agree with.
Literally, all of her actions.
Yeah.
One good one.
That is crazy. So back to Angie, who we talked about, she did get her full refund, but guess how long it took?
How long? A year? 2 years?
4 years.
Oh, how much was it?
So here's the thing. In the Swoop video, the Swoop had said some of the programs were $94. I remember, I'm almost positive, but I could be wrong on this, that the bridal program was $94. So I'm not sure at the time in 2014, 15, 16, right? Like maybe things were, a little bit cheaper. I'll just say cheaper because that's what I feel. But I don't know all of the pricing. But again, to me, a red flag, if something is costing you under $100 for something customized, it's gonna just leave me to pause. And that's not, I'm not trying to hate on like anyone's budget or where they're coming from, but I just know what the work that we do, like you want to pay for quality. Maddy always says, what do you say? Buy it
nice or buy it twice.
That's what she says. That is what she says. And that honestly is applicable across the board. So Brittany moved out of the fitness world after she dissolved the fitness LLC. And then in the early 2019 to like about 2023, that's when the Swoop video came out, was in like 2023. So we're obviously in 2024.
Real quick, the person who created that, was she a customer or was she some documentarian like who does this on the reg?
Yeah. Yep. Swoop is a documentarian. Primarily, I think like puts a lot of the content out on YouTube. I have watched several of her documentary, like documentary, like the coverages. She does her research. She is above board, right? So when we were looking for, when I was looking for information to get this off of, I wanted to make sure it was coming from a fair place. I wanted to make sure that I was getting the things right. And again, this is all alleged because it's based off of the information that's allegedly available to us online. But there was a lot, and I only watched about half of it because we're not going to end up covering this because it's not really applicable to what we do here on the podcast. But she ended up kind of changing her online identity from a fitness influencer to a Christian influencer. So she left the fitness space. She ended up creating a video calling out the hate, and this was her real start into becoming in the Christian influencer space. And again, we're not going to cover that just because it's not really, it doesn't really pertain to the podcast like that. We just wanted to really talk about the incidents that took place in the health and fitness space, being in the health and fitness space. And we're going to link the Swoop video below. And that's again where I got all the information. So if you guys want to watch the rest of the video, by all means, I definitely did. And I thought it was kind of crazy. But I just hope this is an eye opener to people that just because somebody has a lot of followers and they are showing their own transformation and other people's transformation, and they're living their best life and they're traveling and they're so successful, like it's not always what it seems. We need to practice discernment with social media, and ask the questions. I mean, we have an episode, a guest episode that comes out when you're listening
Next
to this,
month.
I think next month, um with Gillis, who is in the functional health space. And we talked about like red flags, what you should be looking for,
Mhm.
what are the green flags. And again, it applies to here. Because it's not just you buying a jacket or a pair of jeans. Like
This is
it's
your health.
it's your
This is
body, it's your
your
health.
body. Yeah. Like when
Yeah.
I was and I actually talked about this on the podcast I was referring to earlier. When I was trying to find a health coach, a functional health coach to help me on my autoimmune journey, I interviewed 10 coaches. The very, very first person I interviewed, who I'm now working with, she told me she wasn't 100% confident that she could work with me because she's never gotten someone off Humira. Can you imagine Brittany Dawn saying that, or any big box place saying like, "You know what? I'm not 100% sure. I don't want to take your money." No, they're here to make a buck. And it's
Mm-hmm.
funny because she was very qualified to work with me. I'm working with her now. We've made so much progress, but there were people that I interviewed, big functional health coaches. I'm not going to name names. If you really want to know, you can send me a DM. I'll tell
Yeah,
you, but
yeah.
I'm not going to name them here. But that when I asked them, like, what is it? First off, I couldn't even get on the phone with who would potentially be my coach, which I think is important. Like, no, me nor Allie do we have salespeople taking our calls. It's us. It is us talking to our potential clients, you know? But anyway, there was one place where I couldn't even get on the phone with my potential coach. I asked them because obviously being a coach, I know things to ask and what I'm looking for. And I asked them like, what is it a typical like what would you typically do? Like, what does this look like? And they're like, we make all of our clients go through X, Y, and Z. I was like, excuse me? Yeah, we all of our clients do X, Y, and Z. I'm not all of your clients. I have different needs. My body is different. Even if you're not going through a big health crisis like I was, we don't have all of our clients go through X, Y, and Z because everyone's
No,
different.
no. I would have said right there, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day, but I just do not feel like this is going to be in alignment with me. Goodbye. And I would have left that Zoom meeting, because if somebody is
Mhm,
going to tell you to your face, we have everybody that walks through our doors do A,
mhm,
B, and C. Well, what if I'm already doing A, B, C? And you're like, does that matter to you? That is crazy. So shout out to your current coach, Julie, who
Julie, yeah, we need to bring her on.
said what she needed to say and said, you know what? I don't feel confident and I respect your body too much. I respect your money. Like, this is your
Mhm,
life. And so I'm
mhm,
going to be honest. And like, that is
mhm.
what we need, right? That is
Yep.
that is the energy that as coaches, as business owners, we lean into. If you don't know, you don't know. And that doesn't make you a bad coach. It
Mhm,
just makes you actually a better coach, because you're not about to just like
mhm,
jeopardize somebody for like a quick buck.
mhm.
Um,
Yeah, I've gotten DMs of people asking me about different nerve problems, different
yep.
really severe autoimmune, and I'm like, "Listen, I would love to help you, but you are beyond my
Yeah.
capabilities." And it's like I just I work very much with like a gut feeling. Like I would feel so freaking terrible if I took someone on I had no business working with. Like
Mm-hmm.
when you have morals, I think it's hard to make business decisions. It's business decision taking on a client, when you know it doesn't align with your morals. You can't, it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
And, not every business does that. Not to be like, we're so morally high. No, we just like give a shit about people. That's what it comes down to.
Yeah. Yeah. And it it just is really eye-opening. And I hope as you're listening to this, you can see, or maybe you've heard of this and you didn't know all the details, but as somebody that like lived through it, you know, it sounds funny to say that, but like that's the truth. Like when it was like making news coverage and all that, I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, like,
So
but to
was
just
I.
revisit it, it really
Uh-huh.
is so much grosser and just like sad, and
Hmm.
it's not right. And so I truly am glad that the LLC has been diminished and
Yeah.
we moved on. And unfortunately, I hope those women that, you know, did try to work with her, I hope they have found somebody that they can trust, or I hope they have like, you know, some sort of closure on that, because I don't even know if I could imagine that. Like all of a sudden, this person that I paid money for that like I thought would be like a coach to me, and then I'm
Yeah.
seeing them on the news. I'm like, like that's kind of
Yeah.
mind fuck. That's a mind fuck.
It's like giving, like when you see on the news about like a teacher you had that was like having a relationship with a student.
Yeah.
It's giving that. That's in a whole different
Yeah.
way, but it's giving like, whoa,
Yeah.
this is not right.
It blows your mind.
Hmm.
And especially like somebody like I love the YouTube space. I know all the YouTube drama. Like talk to me about anything and I will probably know what the hell you're talking about. So to see that kind of cross over to like real life news, it's
Yeah.
like, whoa, like that's crazy. But like shout out to those women that did not just
Persevered.
like stand to, you know, just to be, you know, allegedly taken advantage of. I do think they were, but you know, just to put that
I
little
love someone who yeah, allegedly. It's all alleged. Remember, the whole podcast is
yeah.
alleged. We don't want any repercussions.
I don't want no smoke.
Literally. I love a woman that can stand on for something and, get what they deserve. And, I think that's great. And, to put a pin in this, if you guys liked, we probably should have like started the podcast like this for, the new listeners who are probably
Oh,
coming into, I know we're newer podcasters. We haven't hit our 1 year yet. Give us a few months to still, get
wait, we're
more.
kind of like low key almost at the 1 year.
I know. We were gonna plan such a cool 1 year thing, but then like my plans got all messed up. So we will probably have something fun for another time. But eventually we'll meet. That's what I meant. We were supposed to meet this summer, but then that's not gonna happen. So hopefully in the winter time we'll have something planned out. But anyway, if you guys are totally, totally new here, we should have started like this, and you're just coming here to listen to the deep dive of Brittany Dawn, welcome to the world of kind of hot, kind of healthy. I don't know if we need to do like full introduction, so we're both health coaches.
Yeah, yeah. Go back to episode 1.
Oh
No,
no, it's probably terrible.
oh, don't go back to episode 1. But you know, the reason why we started this podcast is kind of funny if you were like new here. Maddie and I, we were doing like Instagram lives because we were
Oh,
like, wow, it'd be so great to like talk and like do all these sorts of things. And like it was, but then we were like, I kind of pushed her into it. I was but like, what if we
yep,
could like do a podcast? And she's like, I don't know. I was like, but what if we do a podcast? I was like, Instagram
yep.
lives suck. I was like, but what if we do a podcast? And
They do suck, but I do them anyway. They do
there, I
suck.
mean, like, it's kind of like fun, but to be able to have like a space, like our
Yeah.
corner where we have carved out, where like we make these identities for ourselves, it's just like
Mhm.
it's something new. And so we are both in the, you know, health and fitness space. And we
Mhm.
wanted this to be a place where like you can learn, not just about like the shit that you can Google, honestly. Like you can
Yeah.
Google
Yeah.
a lot of things, but
Yeah.
what you're going to find here is like, you know, we want to have good conversations. We want to help you f- learn about your health, your body, and like just the space itself to be able to like confidently like make decisions and like move through your life. And then of course we're also
Yeah.
just going to have like the gab corner because we're yappers. If there's one thing,
Yeah.
I'm a motherfucking yapper.
There are many times I have to like, Allie, shut up. In a good way, with love.
She's like, peace and
But
love, you are talking too much.
shut up. But yeah, we really wanted this to be like a fun thing, and we both enjoy it a lot. And it's just a place for us to gab, talk about stuff, hopefully help you guys. I mean, I've got like a really good message recently that someone was going through some like hard just mental things and life things, and like and it was such a nice message. I think I sent it to Allie. Like, she
Yeah.
was just like, it has been just, it's so helpful because you guys are funny. And like, I personally think I'm funny, and my sister is like really freaking funny. And she told me recently, like, you've gotten really funny. I'm like, I know. I've
You're
been
like,
working.
yeah,
I've been
I am
working.
funny.
I am hilarious. So we try our best to keep it fun and not be another podcast that's like, whoa, we saw on a study today, and there's nothing against those podcasts, but like, I personally, living in the health and fitness world, like, I don't want to listen to another bro science. I want to have fun. I
Yep.
want to shoot the shit. I want to hear about drama, that kind of stuff. So that's what we are here for. And if
Mm-hmm.
you really liked this deep dive, drop a comment. What other deep dive do you want us to do? We want to do like one deep dive, like 1 or 2 episodes a month of that. The first episode of the month, we're just kind of talking about the beginning of the month, our goals, things like that. We do a guest interview the second Wednesday, and then the third and fourth, we're kind of figuring out what we're going to be doing for those. So yeah, drop if you're like, oh, we should do a deep dive on this or that. We are totally down for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Anything
I
you want
love
to
it.
close up with, talk about?
Man, I don't think so. But as we were putting like recording and putting out, I think it was like last week's episode, it was like already like it was like number 33. And I was just thinking about how that is 33 weeks that or 33 episodes because we were doing monthly, right? And now we do weekly.
No,
Or
we
we
were
were
doing
bi-weekly?
we were bi-weekly, and then we went
Okay.
to
To
weekly.
weekly. So that's 33 like episodes that we've shown up and like just grown and gotten better. And it's just really funny because like now it feels much more natural. And it's like, wow, like
Yeah.
what about at 133? Where are we gonna be then?
Uh-huh.
And
We
I'm
might
just
be doing good, sorry.
well, I was just gonna say like all the messages that like I get or just like people subscribing like we're growing and we're doing it and I just like it makes me feel excited to have people that like want to be here and listen to us and like if we can make like even the smallest little impact on your day and like
Mhm.
make it a little bit better like that's kind of what we're here for because like it also makes me really excited to like get to sit down and like see Maddie's face and we know we're gonna like talk about some like just awesome stuff and it just like it's
Yeah.
like such a like a light spot in my life.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And like I've said before, they will never say, "Oh, they hate each other. They're just doing it for the money." Because two things, we could never hate each other. And
I do
second thing
hate
is
her.
second thing is there is no money. So
The money pot is dry.
So if you know a sponsor, if you are a company watching this by chance, like, we are open to sponsors. We are picky as hell, so don't be slinging your shit to us. Basically, you will never see us like, here's a gummy. No, we will never be doing that shit. But we are open to it. But I guess the one
Mhm.
thing I will close out with is my Start to Lift challenge is starting very soon, the 24th. So you still have time to sneak in there. It is for women who want to learn how to lift, are tired of going to the gym, literally going on the treadmill because they don't know what the heck else to do. You will learn how to lift as a beginner. We do form checks. It is super freaking fun. I'll put the link. You can get a free week and learn more about it. But yeah, I'm super excited. And I love teaching women how to lift from the beginning. So
I love that.
yeah, that's on
Yay.
that.
And that's on the end of the show.
I forgot to grab the
Oh,
show notes
Maddie doesn't have
because
her show notes. So I will say that as this episode comes out, we have one more week to get into Balanced Bites, which is a 30-day program that I am running. And it is answering all of your questions about nutrition and tracking, going out to dinner and not ordering a sad salad. Because if there's one thing we can do, it's teaching you confidence around your food. There's not a day that I hate what I'm eating, and I'm not always eating pizza. Like, right? Like, we have to be able to find the balance between food that tastes good, healthy food, and that's what we're doing. It's really fun. Like, this is a program that I'm actually so fucking jazzed about. So we'll put that in the show notes, and you can still get early bird pricing when this episode drops.
And that's on that. Thank you guys. Thank you guys so much for listening and watching Kind of Hot, Kind of Healthy. Please make sure to subscribe. Give us a 5-star review. There's
Yep.
hopefully many of you listening. We had some trolls give us like a 0-star, bump us back up. Okay.
Yeah.
Make sure to send this to a girlfriend who maybe was
Ooh.
victimized by a certain someone, or who needs some help in distinguishing between a reputable health coach and one that is not as allegedly reputable. You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, anywhere you can stream podcasts. If you have a burning question about life, friendships, health, and 1 or 2 cents, email us at kindahotpod@gmail.com. That's KINDAHOTPOD@gmail.com. Bye.
Bye.